The thing is, I think that's a good point because when you do marry into a family, but it's biblical that you're supposed to cleave to your partner, and your family then kind of has to come second. And I also think that as the family dynamic, you really have to welcome your daughter-in-law and welcome your son-in-law.
Won't believe
I'm
how
not
you've
granted. I understand that, but I also think that it's very important that they all get together because Victoria Beckham's going to want to see her grandkids, right? And David Beckham's going to want to see his grandkids. But this woman, apparently his wife, her father's a billionaire, so she's not really checking for the Beckhams.
A wedding dress sparked a family war that has now torn apart one of the most famous dynasties in the world. Brooklyn Beckham publicly declared he will always choose his wife Nicola Peltz over his own family. And by late 2025, he's proven exactly that. Tabloid whispers from 2022 have escalated into documented absences from major family milestones, social media unfollowings between siblings, and Brooklyn skipping his own father's knighthood ceremony. Nicola Peltz has spoken out about what happened, and her version paints a very different picture than the headline suggested. Understanding this rift requires knowing just how powerful these two families are. Nicola Ann Peltz entered the world on January 9, 1995, in Westchester County, New York, and her upbringing was anything but ordinary. Her father, Nelson Peltz, built a fortune as a billionaire investor, with Forbes estimating his net worth between $1.6 and $1.8 billion. Trian Fund Management, the firm he co-founded, gave him seats on the boards of Wendy's, Procter & Gamble, and Heinz. 10 children make up the Peltz family. Their Palm Beach oceanfront estate spans 27 bedrooms and carries a price tag of $103 million. While a 130-acre mansion in Bedford, New York features its own indoor ice hockey rink. Nicola herself holds a personal fortune around $50 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. Victoria Beckham took a different path to wealth and fame. Posh Spice became her identity in the Spice Girls, whose debut album moved over 20 million copies worldwide. Her marriage to David Beckham in July 1999 created a power couple worth roughly £500 million, which translates to about $625 million, per the Sunday Times Rich List 2025. Her fashion label launched in 2008 and bled money for years, accumulating over £68 million in losses before finally turning profitable in 2023 and reporting £112.7 million in revenue the following year. Brooklyn Beckham falling for Nicola Peltz meant British celebrity royalty colliding with American billionaire dynasty. And those two worlds rarely blend smoothly. Coachella 2017 brought Brooklyn and Nicola into the same space for the first time, but no sparks flew. Nicola put it bluntly, "We didn't get along. We just didn't click. I had a boyfriend, he had a girlfriend." Everything changed at Leonardo DiCaprio's Halloween party on October 29, 2019, which Brooklyn described as the night of their first kiss. The two drove around LA until 7 or 8 in the morning, getting to know each other. And that marathon conversation launched a relationship that would reshape both families. Pandemic quarantine brought them closer, and Brooklyn proposed in late June 2020. When they announced the engagement on July 11th, Nicola wore a Victoria Beckham dress, and everything appeared harmonious between the families. April 9th, 2022 brought the wedding at the Peltz family's Palm Beach estate, a $3 million celebration hosting somewhere between 300 and 500 guests. Romeo and Cruz stood as best men, while Harper served as bridesmaid. Serena and Venus Williams mingled with Eva Longoria, Gordon Ramsay, Gigi Hadid, and Snoop Dogg throughout the evening. And here's where the trouble started, because Nicola did not walk down the aisle in a Victoria Beckham wedding dress. Tabloids seized on this detail and painted Nicola as a difficult bride who snubbed her fashion designer mother-in-law. But her account tells a completely different story. Variety published her explanation in August 2022. "I was going to, and I really wanted to, and then a few months down the line, she realized that her atelier couldn't do it. So then I had to pick another dress. She didn't say you can't wear it. I didn't say I didn't want to wear it."
Came in and said, "And to the most beautiful person ever." Mark Anthony said, and he said Victoria Beckham.
Well, he performed a song and then asked for the most beautiful woman in the room.
Yep.
Someone did that at my wedding.
Oh my God. Mark Anthony, what's wrong with you?
I mean, I get it why you said that.
That's where it started, and then they ran with that. Grazia USA got more details from Nicola. I was planning on wearing Victoria's wedding dress, and I was truly so excited to be able to wear a design that my future mother-in-law created. I thought that was so beautiful, and such a beautiful story. We connected to start designing the dress, and then a few days went by and I didn't hear anything. Victoria called my mom and said her atelier couldn't make it. A Peltz family source gave People magazine their perspective in October 2025. Nicola was painted as a brat for not wearing Victoria Beckham at the wedding. She'd gone to a ton of Victoria Beckham fashion shows and events in Victoria's clothing. The Beckham camp fired back through the same outlet. A quick Google search will show how many times this pointless story has been recycled to try and paint Nicola as somehow a victim. As ever, the Beckhams have stayed above it all, despite constant attacks through the media. Valentino Haute Couture ultimately dressed Nicola for her wedding day, with Pier Paolo Piccioli designing the custom gown. The wedding dress only tells part of this story, and the disputed Mark Anthony incident adds another layer of complexity. A Peltz family source claimed that during the reception, Mark Anthony announced, "The most beautiful woman in the room tonight? Come on up, Victoria Beckham." Right before what Brooklyn and Nicola believed was their first dance, sending Nicola running from the room in tears. A guest aligned with the Beckhams offered a contradicting account, stating the couple had their first dance early in the evening, and Victoria dancing with Brooklyn happened much later. What observers noticed most was Brooklyn's apparent absorption into the Peltz family. He hyphenated his name to Peltz Beckham, got a Peltz tattoo inked on his body, and reportedly began seeking business advice from Nelson Peltz rather than his own father David. A Daily Mail source captured Victoria's alleged feelings. Victoria feels he has been absorbed into the Peltzes, and that his life is all about that family. TMZ reporting from 2025 claimed Nicola believes David and Victoria are narcissistic and performative in their treatment of Brooklyn. Public statements from both sides have been carefully managed throughout this saga. Nicola pushed back on the characterization when speaking to The Times. "It's not a feud. I keep seeing everywhere that word feud, feud, feud. I mean, maybe they picked up on something? And now they're labeling it feud?" Cosmopolitan captured her frustration. "I just wish people knew me before they judged me. And it sucks because I wish I could respond to every person being like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true." Victoria stayed mostly positive in public, telling Today after the wedding, "It was a beautiful wedding. As a mother, to see my son so happy means so much." That tone shifted in 2025 when she appeared on Andy Cohen's Sirius XM show and delivered what many interpreted as a direct shot. "I'm a girl's girl. I mean, you've got to be a real a-hole for me to not get on with you if you're a woman." Brooklyn made his loyalties crystal clear in Variety back in August 2022.
Victoria Beckham's atelier, the fashion house, said they didn't have.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bunch of baloney.
I think it comes down to the trust of like parents. It's hard to let your kids go, although that's the point, and they're gonna find their people. Even though they came from you, they will find their own people. And as partners, you're marrying a family, and that's hard coming in.
To be honest, my wife is obviously my first priority, and I never want to see her upset, ever. The timeline of deterioration tells its own story. Page 6 published their Cold War report in July 2022, with sources claiming the families can't stand each other. Victoria's 50th birthday party in April 2024 came and went without Nicola present, her absence attributed to a dying grandmother. May 2025 brought the breaking point, when Brooklyn and Nicola skipped David's 50th birthday celebration entirely, and Brooklyn posted no tribute to his father. Brooklyn's Instagram post on May 24th, 2025 read like a declaration of loyalty. "My whole world, I will love you forever. I always choose you, baby. You're the most amazing person I know." Cruz responded within hours on his Instagram stories. "I love my family. I love you guys more than anything. Mom and Dad, you gave us life and cared for us no matter what." July 2025 brought Instagram unfollowings, with Brooklyn and Nicola cutting ties with Romeo and Cruz's accounts after reports surfaced that the brothers had blocked them first. August 2nd, 2025 saw Brooklyn and Nicola renew their vows at the Peltz estate, with Nelson Peltz officiating, and not a single Beckham family member in attendance. Victoria's documentary premiered in October 2025, without Brooklyn appearing except in archival baby footage. And he stayed away from the premiere itself. November 4th, 2025 marked David receiving his knighthood at Windsor Castle, one of the highest honors of his life. And Brooklyn and Nicola were nowhere to be seen and posted no congratulations. Late 2025 brought no signs of reconciliation. TMZ sources described tensions as sky high, with no reconciliation attempts on either side, while a Mirror source claimed Victoria had declared enough is enough after repeated outreach efforts. Reports indicated Brooklyn and Nicola wanted a public apology from David and Victoria before any reconciliation could begin. The couple remains married, having purchased a $16 million Beverly Hills mansion in June 2025. And they reportedly hired lawyer Jenny Afia of Schillings, the same firm representing Harry and Meghan, to combat what they call misinformation. Neither Victoria nor David has publicly confirmed any feud exists, and Nicola continues rejecting that word. But the evidence tells a different story. Brooklyn renewed his vows without any Beckham family present, skipped his father's knighthood, and his own brothers blocked him on social media. These are not the actions of a united family. A wedding dress ignited something much bigger. A collision between two powerful families, competing loyalties, and a son who made his choice unmistakably clear. Brooklyn's own words captured it perfectly. I always choose you, baby. Whether this family can find their way back to each other, or whether Brooklyn's choice has become permanent, remains the only question left. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories like this one.